first?
We'll start that way.
How did you get diagnosed?
That's a long one.
I got diagnosed in 2017. So I think the thing that kick-started it off for me was I actually suffered a lot of head trauma when I was playing football.
I've never known someone to get ADHD from having the head, having like a head accident.
So I've got a scar there, one there, and apparently that could have been the kickstart because I was really good in school. And then all of a sudden I didn't do uni, I didn't do anything else. And then, that was sort of like the story kind of in 2017, moved to London and then.
I've not been like medically diagnosed, but it was like more this year. I was speaking to someone else and then they spoke to me about it, and then I like did quite a lot of research on it and I just really familiarised with everything, so that's how it happened.
For me it was like a friend kind of mentioned it, so I looked into it and read this book, and when I was reading this book I was literally like, whoa, this is written about me.
Yeah.
And that's how I like self-diagnosed, and then went to the doctor, got referred to a clinic, and then got diagnosed officially.
For me, it was a bit strange. A lot of my work bosses
started.
Are you actually gonna go? I mean, I've already started now. Right. So it was my boss who first mentioned it. Was like, "Are you sure you've not got ADHD?" Because I'm sat in client briefings and I'm always moving in my chair and doing things like that. And then it kind of went on from there. I had 3 people say it to me on a first date, and I was like, right, what's going on? So then when I looked into it, then I was like, yeah, I need to get tested. And here we are.
That's me, yeah?
Yeah.
That way. Oh yeah. No, just everyone's just always told me I've got ADHD. That's it. I'm always sitting somewhere, or I'm always on the move. Can't sit down for long, legs tapping. Always talking about something about it. Yeah, just been told. Looked online, said I got it.
Do you want to come test or?
yeah. Self-diagnosed.
For me, it was in primary school, so I could never focus on my tasks that I was doing. The teachers like got into me. I ended up getting like a TA to help me like focus, and then that was all through primary school. And then it got better, and I worked on stuff at home with my family to help me like deal with it better.
Nice.
Back in primary school, kind of the same thing. Like teachers would say to my mum, "Oh, you might have ADHD," but my mum would just say it's just this like natural energy. And then when I was 15 or 14, they referred me to get a test because it was like coming to my GCSEs. So they wanted to see if could give me like extra time, stuff like that. Did the test, and then apparently they said put me on that medication, and then come off it, and then just living as an adult with ADHD. Got sacked from 2 jobs, but
Absolutely gutted. I got voted off first. I feel like because Cody saw that other people were there who voted for me, it kind of influenced his vote.
Right, in that round, I think it was a bit hit and miss. I think everyone was giving too much of a story, trying to be like, yeah, I've got this backstory, I've got this, I've got that. I'll be straight, I don't think Aziz has not got it, I think he has got it. I said the wrong one. So yeah, a little fumble in the bag.
I knew it wasn't Aziz because the story he came up with today, like, very low chance of getting ADHD from head trauma for him to be saying that.
His story didn't seem believable, and like what you were saying about the head injury just didn't seem believable to me. Like,
if they did their study, head trauma can cause a lot of things, including ADHD. It can also change your behaviour. It can trigger bipolar, it can trigger schizophrenia in some people. So using that as their excuse isn't good enough. But anyway, I've been voted off, and there's nothing else to say, I suppose. Peace out.
What's the name of your medication?
my medication,
or the one that you were taking.
So what I used to take, Have you heard of Ritalin?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
When did you start your medication?
I don't take medication for it.
Oh.
But like since finding out about the fact that I have it, I've started like changing things in my lifestyle. Like I bought a diary so that I can, because basically if I don't write it down, I'm not getting it done.
Do you actually write it down? Because I forget about it after a week.
I have to.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things like now as well. If I travel to London, like if I go back to London, I'll write a list of like what I need, because if I don't, I won't remember it.
Do you ever lose it? Because I'm always
Yeah.
losing stuff, mate.
I've had 9 Samsungs growing up, because I obviously have an iPhone now, but I had like 9 Samsungs. I've had over 10 iPhones, like
Yeah.
just through leaving them in Ubers or putting it down in a cafe or.
Easy vote, like no one's losing 9 phones, like ridiculous.
When I look at my Find Me iPhone list, there's about 10 phones on there. I'm like, yeah, don't have it. No location.
The
Gone.
ones I'm connected to on Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Do you write on like paper or on like your phone?
I have
when you write
a
it down?
diary because I like being able to write it out and then cross it off. Whereas
Yeah.
when it's just on my phone as well, it's just another thing on my phone. Whereas having like a book and a diary is like a whole thing dedicated to trying to remember.
You know what, I understand, like in work they're telling me to use the calendar to like schedule my day and what I need to do, and I'm like, no, sticky notes everywhere when it's done.
And I'm a visual learner, so I like to be able to have it in front of me and like physically do it.
I don't know a lot of people who've got ADHD who are like maybe a visual learner, and she just didn't seem really truthful on that. That's interesting that you're a visual learner. Sorry, I had another question, but I won't keep asking you the questions. I would probably say I'm a kinesthetic learner. It's just because I've got to do stuff, you know.
What's kinesthetic?
Like you're doing like.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
really?
yeah, so kinesthetic. So
Is it
like,
kinetic like mind power?
No, kinetic's
That's
like moving power.
telekinesis.
No, that's thinking
Oh, like making move stuff.
Isn't it?
Telekin-
No, that is
Telekinetic.
telekinetic. It's kind of half there, isn't it?
See, I'm zoning out. Violation. In utter shock. Actually, I'm really gutted. Thought it would have lasted longer, but it is what it is.
Sitting down, do your legs start tapping on the floor?
Yeah.
Both
Hand
legs on one?
goes.
Yeah, hand goes, yeah.
Normally one, but it
Tap.
switches up which one depending on the moment.
Yeah, what I'm doing. If I'm sat down, it's like the right leg.
Do you notice it going on, it's not going on its own?
Just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine just goes. I'm trying to right one.
You can tell it annoys other people in it, but you don't know when you're doing it.
Would you want to go see a doctor or like see about getting help? Like, does it affect your ADHD so much in your day-to-day life?
My parents are like African, like they don't really like fully
Believe
believe
in
in
it,
stuff.
that's
So
it.
like I kind of like had stuff done at home. Like I'd like started working on doing longer tasks to work on for my focus. And I had a TA in school. I had extra time in my exams. Stuff like that. Helped me through.
Wait, so you weren't officially diagnosed, but you managed to get extra time in school?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Don't think about that one.
Like you said earlier, you do a test in school that gives you extra time where you do like a reading
Yeah, that is
comprehension.
true. There is a test for that. But my kind of test was
Yeah, but is that
because
not-
of that. Like they did both. So they did that test for the extra time, and then they did the test to go to CAMS and everything. But what was your question to Cody?
What?
What was your question to Cody?
I don't know, what was my question?
What? Can't remember. I've got a quick question for everyone, yeah? What's your definition here? What's the difference between having ADHD and not having ADHD? Well, not a definition, but...
The way that you
What?
think, the way that you process your thoughts, like, yeah, disorganisation, many other things, slurring your words sometimes because you think faster than you can talk. And most people just tend to get on with life.
Yeah, I've
That's
got a
about it.
question, and I'm going to ask you.
Me?
What does it stand for?
ADHD.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't even know that. I've got it.
Attention.
Oh,
I can't even
Go
speak
on,
right
go
now.
on.
But attention. What is it? Deficit. Hyperactivity, and then
You didn't know?
The
I
program.
know it come back.
But I'll go first, right? I voted for number 1 because it's just asking too many questions, a little bit sus in it, asking too many questions, not letting anyone else jump in, sort of. So I think maybe, and plus the demeanour just kind of stood there. So I'm gonna go number 1.
It was almost like she was trying to learn about ADHD,
Yeah,
like
she
through
can
the
try and
questions.
real time.
Yeah, like shit, I've not done my research.
What's it stand for again?
Yeah.
I feel like I was just asking a lot of the questions because it like went quiet at times, or like stuff that was actually relevant to it. 'Cause to be fair, they did go off track a lot, but I guess that is ADHD. But me aware of time running out, I wanted to ask relevant questions to figure out who it was.
So when you guys are at home and you're just doing stuff, do you have to have something playing in the background, or do you like silence?
Yes, music is
Same like when you
standard.
sleep, do you have something in the background, or
Yeah.
And honestly, but I just toss and turn loads.
is it your own noise?
Yeah. Yeah, it's even long enough to get to sleep.
I have a diffuser and that helps me get to sleep, like lavender.
That actually sounds so
Sounds better than
nice.
mine.
Mine's just TV or binaural sounds. Like if I'm not watching something or my brain's distracted, then yeah, I'll just be
mine
in bed
was-
till 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You guys good at multitasking now?
Not at all.
I like to act like I am, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I try.
I think I am, but then when someone else looks at the pictures, like, Rish, you've not done nothing. But I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about it though.
The thing is,
I get loads.
I do loads of things, just I never complete them. So I'll start something, then start something else. Yeah.
Do you use, it's a bit of a random one, but do you ever look at your notes, or like you put something down on your notes and you're like, oh yeah, and you're going to go back to it and then just never.
I'm the worst for that at uni. Like I make notes, and it makes sense when I'm writing it at the time, and then when I go back to look at it, I'm like, what was that?
Don't know what, but you said you got obviously tested, you know, like in high school. Whilst you're at uni, have you been like tested or asked for like, extra time, or like, you can get like computers or money for like bursary stuff?
I did receive an extra amount towards my thingy, but that wasn't to do with that. My course is 100% coursework, so I didn't think it was really appropriate to use my extra time when I got. I've used my free extensions already though for my coursework that was due in January, but that's anyone can use that. So
Yeah.
I could apply for an extra one, which is like you have to back it with medical reasons. So I'd probably have to get my diagnosis for one just to do that.
Yeah.
Can't breathe, but it's all good. So, I think we've got all the moles out, to be honest.
Yeah. Just some of these stories, like the questions I was asking, because I thought I'm gonna go in depth because it seemed like it just, I don't know, it just didn't seem believable.
I'll tell you straight, yeah. It was when I said to him, what's ADHD stand for?
Yeah, it
That
was.
was it for me.
Didn't know straight away.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
It was about it.
Had to
it
go
was
from
about the
there, it was
questions as
out.
well.
When he was talking about uni, saying that about his extra time, saying, yeah, but I don't use it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I would use it.
Well, my answers that round were very good. I don't know why they picked me. I think just ganging up on me.
Right now, it was you.
Told you, didn't I? I said it. I said it.
I don't think
Everything I said no was true, apart from the actual ADHD part. So
You took the calm one. I was like, you know what? I thought it was you. To be
I
fair.
was
Me?
Because you
so
sounded
detail, but
textbook,
I just like.
which is
Me,
what I did.
I'm
I
just
went,
knowledgeable.
I
Yeah,
actually-
you sounded like I thought you because you knew so much. I was like, it's scripted. Like,
I didn't
she's
think so.
researched.
That much, but-
My mistake was I did too much research because head trauma is a thing. I looked into it, which obviously none of you heard about. I wrote that file.
When you started saying it,
It's
everyone
like
just went,
true, but it's not
"Ah."
believable.
Well, I just
It's a very interesting afternoon. So.
Yeah, so in
Yeah.
the future, don't do too much research. Just kind of like lie on the spot.
Wing it.
You're a dark horse, but that might not come away.
Yeah, you're gonna be right on.
No?
Not close, not close.